Hi Leo, welcome to your reading. So I have a feeling that this reading is gonna be a really good reading for you actually. That's also the message I got when I tuned into your energy. I heard, what was it exactly? It was something like, yeah, the worst is behind you. So that's very encouraging, and it feels like your energy is starting to get brighter and kind of like more playful. That's what I'm feeling. Um, so let's look at your cards. The first card that came out was the Otter. And this is where that playful energy is really, it's like pouring out from the Otter. That's what I'm feeling. Um, I feel like this is someone that is at home with themselves at last, is what it feels like. It feels like they are finally comfortable with their emotions. I feel that if this is a person, then this is a person that I feel like they have done quite a lot of work on themselves. Like, I feel like they have gone in and nurtured themselves quite a lot. It feels like they have healed quite a lot of their childhood trauma, actually. Because with this otter, when that otter energy comes in, it's almost as if they are going into a second childhood. That's the feeling I'm getting. And to me, in my experience, that kind of thing, it happens when we have gone back and rectified a lot of the traumas or the experiences or the pain that we went through as children. You know, the areas where we weren't properly mirrored. And it doesn't have to mean that we had a really bad childhood or anything like that, but for most of us at this time, we will have grown up not knowing ourselves fully, right? We grew up with people that maybe weren't that spiritually awake, and definitely the system that many of us grew up in were not uh, taking our inner divinity or our spirituality into account. You know, it was more about living up to a role and kind of walking in line, I guess. So I feel like when this otter comes through, it's just such a positive sign because it shows someone that has brought justice to themselves. And now they're just stepping into, it's almost like they're stepping into the parts of their inner child that they weren't, in a sense, allowed to play out as children. But now it's coming out, and it's coming out in such a beautiful, playful way. It's like, yeah, it's like a river. It's like a little current, little river, you know, just streaming through them, just making them very present, very innocent, and just like so cute and cuddly. That's what I want to feel. I feel like, oh, they're so, it's like this feeling of just so cuddly. It's almost like they are constantly having hearts in their eyes. So I'm feeling that this is a timeline that is coming in for the Leo archetype. And so some of you may resonate with this, and if you don't resonate with it right now, I feel like this is something that you could potentially call in for the future. You know, like I said, through doing that type of healing of the inner child. So I love it. It's beautiful. But then we also have some other cards here. And I feel like this is another timeline, or maybe even a different person. Could be many different things. This is a more challenging energy right here. And I always feel like in the beginning I said the worst is behind you. I feel like this is the worst. Like, this is what is behind this otter. It's like I feel like this otter is leaving all of this behind. So what you have here is the panther, the lizard, the hyena, and I think this card came out for you in the last reading I did, and then the elk. And so the way I would read these cards is that these cards are definitely talking about a time of spiritual awakening. This is quite a testing time that this person or this energy is in. First of all, the panther, a lot of the times it specifically talks about awakening. You know, it talks about going into the jungle which kind of represents our internal world, you know, the dream world, if you will. Shamans, for instance, a lot of the times the panther is a very powerful symbol for them. And so when the panther comes to visit people in their dreams, it's kind of like a sign that it's time for you to awaken. You know, it's time for you to go deeper. And then with the lizard, to me, I feel like this is specifically talking about, you know, the fight or flight system within our body. Scientists call this the lizard brain. And it's interesting because if you tune into people in the subconscious, like if you go into that realm that the panther talks about and you look at people through that dreamlike vision, you will see them as lizard people if they are very run by their fight or flight system. You know, it's like, it's a way of showing that they are not really grounded. You know, you see them as lizards. And so that's kind of interesting. So I feel like either this is something that this person or you have discovered, or maybe even you're working a lot with your fears. And you are kind of working on understanding them. That's what I feel like, to get to this timeline of the otter. It's also something about learning how to kind of soothe this inner lizard, this fight or flight reaction. So I feel like if this timeline resonates for you right here, then you may be working a lot on that, or understanding a lot more about the fear within the collective, something like that. And that's also where I feel like the hyena is coming in, but because this is definitely speaking about like expanding your understanding of the subconscious with the moon here. Again, going deeper, seeing more, understanding more of your inner lunar power. Both of these, both the panther and the hyena, comes out as fire energy. And so it's kind of like the idea of building light. Actually, also the lizard is a fire energy. That's kind of cool. And then the last card here for this person or this timeline is the elk. And this actually came through in the last Aquarius reading I did, which that's like your counterpart. It's on the opposite end of the chart from you, on the astrological chart. So that's kind of interesting. But I feel like with this elk, you know, it's almost something like when you start to see the world in this way, when you start to look deeper into your subconscious and understand it more, it's like everything starts to change. You see here with kind of these antlers burning and this eclipsed sun, it's like you're moving into completely different timeline. Everything changes, your orientation in the world changes, and it's almost like you're just gaining a lot more understanding, gaining a lot more power in a way. Because it's almost like if you can understand, you can begin to change your feelings. You won't feel like powerless and like angered and like just like stressed out if you understand things, because then you can see, what can I tweak, you know, what can I strengthen, you know, what can I nurture, and then you will see changes. And so I feel like there's very powerful changes happening within the Leo archetype, and either you have already gone through this, it's like this is now gonna be behind you, or if that's not the case, then you are working on really building this light, building your light here, so that you can create this massive change and move into this new chapter of your life. Either way, it's actually really, really powerful and really, really good. So let's pull some cards here. Wow, it starts good. Underneath it was the Two of Cups. Yeah, I'm hearing you're ready to find love now. Those vowels always get me with the English language. My pronunciation is so bad sometimes. So let's see. Anything else for... Okay, 2 cards coming out. Wow, yes, I love it. The Magician was underneath the deck. You got some tools now. Like, you got some power now, I feel. Either you're building it or it's like already in your belt. So let's see. Let's see. Ooh, wow. Ace of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups. This is beautiful, Leo. This is just like goodness pouring in. Definitely new beginnings coming in. I'm hearing it's a new time here with the Ace of Pentacles. Oh, and I'm hearing it's the time of your life. So beautiful. Yeah, honestly, it feels like when you reach this Otter timeline, it's almost as if you have created so much light within yourself. You have, it's like loved upon all of these areas within your psyche that were not properly reflected, like I said, as a child. And so they were kind of like black holes. But now it's like you turned them into these beautiful radiant suns. I'm also feeling here with the sun behind the Magician. Now it's almost like light is streaming from them instead of those black holes kind of like sucking your energy and stealing your energy and making you feel low and depressed and just like powerless. Now it's almost like it has reversed, and these areas within yourself that used to be a nuisance, kind of, that you used to fear, now you love them. It's like you love them because it's like they were a part of you building your light. That's what I'm feeling. It's like these experiences, these like holes within your psyche, now you see that they taught you so much, and it's like they bring you gratitude now. And that's what I'm feeling. It's like you're reaching the time of your life. It's like you honestly, I feel like you're moving into a time right now where it's gonna feel, it's like you're reaching your purpose. Your life is gonna feel so meaningful. That's actually what I'm getting. And so natural, and so like you're just gonna be like, this is why I came. Like, I'm here now. You're gonna feel so present and so blessed. And with that type of energy, you're gonna become a magnet. Like a radiant magnet that will just kind of have a lot of gravity, but also have a lot to give and to share and to, you know, teach people. Behind the Magician was actually like the Mother of Cups. And this card has been coming through as some kind of a past life guide. And so I do feel here that you are very much backed by a lot of your ancestors, you know, by a lot of spirits actually. You know, especially if you've done this work that I talked about a little bit initially, it's like you are very, very protected, and you're very, very surrounded by good vibes, you know, good energy, because it's like you did the work. You did the work, you paid your dues. It's like you rectified your karma. It's beautiful, Leo. Honestly, it's so beautiful. And I'm hearing it's so deserved. I love it. Anything else? Wow. Okay, cards coming. Wow. Yeah, I told you this was going to be a great reading. The Lovers underneath the deck. So, you know, we started with the Two of Cups and now it's the Lovers. Let's see, 2 cards coming out. 3 of Swords and the Moon. So I feel like this is kind of pointing to what I said about these like black holes. Like when they are kind of in this black hole stage, if you're experiencing a lot of fear, depression, anxiety, things like that, it's kind of an indication that there are some woundings to your inner child, you know? It's kind of an indication that there is something, a gift, that your current mind is not seeing. It's like you have a gift that you were born with, but it's like your mind doesn't yet see it, and it's because of some kind of wounding that took place in your childhood. That's what I'm getting right now. And it's like, so if you have those feelings that you're feeling drained, you're feeling like you don't have that much energy, or you're feeling very up and down, the key is really to start to connect more deeply with your subconscious. You know, to start to build your light, and maybe sometimes even imagining going back to talk to your inner child and see, what does it have to say? Like, what kind of dreams does it have that you're not currently seeing with the Nine of Cups, or that you're not currently, you know, giving value to, or that you're telling yourself, no, it can never be, you know, it will never happen. I feel like this is part of that wounding. Maybe, you know, you had parents around you or authorities around you saying, no, like, dreams don't come true, you know? It's like, love isn't for real. It's like, maybe there is something there, some kind of jadedness that was passed on to you, and that are kind of still blocking your inner child from reaching that full potential. If you go in and become aware, it's almost like that light of seeing the wounding and seeing that injustice, just like with your conscious mind, that is enough to transmute it. You know, that's kind of like the magic of reality. It's like the quantum reality. When something is seen, it actually changes its state. It's like, this is physics. It's like the quantum reality. And so doing that type of work is a lot about just noticing, you know, becoming aware, growing our lunar power. Yeah, so maybe even there's something about love here that you're not, like, maybe it's something like you don't fully trust yourself, or, and I think again, if you feel like that, if you feel like you don't really trust yourself, it's maybe because you don't really know like who you are. It's like there are areas still within yourself that you haven't witnessed. And so again, I feel like the advice is the same, to give yourself more light, you know, spend more time looking at yourself and your desires and your dreams, and imagining how would it be if you were living like the time of your life, like the reason why you came to this earth. What would that be like for you? What would you want to experience? Like, let yourself dream as well. That's what I'm feeling, because it's kind of giving you direction, is showing you where you are not fully believing in yourself, where you're not fully seeing yourself. So let's see, anything else for Leo? Whoa, flying out. Yeah, Emperor underneath the deck. Stability, I'm feeling. Like being stable, maybe, is something that you are desiring right now. And underneath the Emperor actually was the High Priestess and the Ace of Swords. So yeah, I do feel like for you specifically, actually physical stability will come when you develop certain specific gifts that you have. That's what I'm feeling. You have some kind of, we can call it spiritual, but we only call it spiritual because it's like we're not really used to seeing those parts of reality. I bet that in like 50, 60 years from now, we won't call this thing spiritual. It will just be like natural, you know, like just like a natural part of being a human. But I feel like there are some of those more hidden gifts, aspects of yourself that once you see them, it's going to give you a lot of stability. And I feel just like this type of power with the Emperor here. Yeah. Oh yeah, let's see here. Actually, I'm not sure if these came out in reverse or in the upright because I turned them around like several times. So that's significant, you know, that means something. Anyway, they are the 8 of Pentacles and the 5 of Swords. Yeah, so I do feel like the 5 of Swords here kind of very much speaking about this hyena. And I feel like this goes back to your last reading. You know, maybe you've been in a state where you have cut yourself off from this shadow within you. You know, maybe you have been demonizing your inner child, calling it bad, you know, when it feels anxiety and fear and all of those things, instead of understanding that it is your inner child. You know, it's a part of you that needs you. But I do feel like you're coming into a time in your life, if this resonates for you, that you're really starting to understand that it's not about cutting that off from yourself. It's actually about going in and nurturing that part of yourself, you know, that part of your mind, because, or your brain, because it's like everything we feel is a neuron or some aspect, some cell within our body. It's alive. You know, it's not just some kind of like dancing things around us. Everything is kind of coming from physicality in a way. And so if you feel anxiety or depression, you know, it's a cell within you that is not really getting what it needs. But if you go in there with your consciousness and kind of communicate, empathize with that part of your body, with that part of yourself, then you can figure out why it's suffering. And then, of course, you maybe can make changes with the Emperor here. You know, change the way you do things to see if it gets better. So that's what I'm feeling here, that you're starting to become more aware. You're actually starting to, it's like you're building new structures in your life. You're taking yourself more seriously, taking your inner child more seriously. And you're just like, yeah, no, we're gonna create this. Like, we are gonna create this. I'm gonna experience this. That's what I'm feeling. Like, you're just building your own life up now. Or you have been. And I feel like it's really, really gonna pay off for you. It's really gonna pay off. So let's see, is there one last message that we need to know for Leo before we end the reading here? I'm hearing someone saying, what about the relationship? So let's ask, what about the relationship? Okay, card coming out, 6 of Swords. So I feel like it's something that is about to, again, it's like moving into a more stable state. It's like more grounded maybe. Yeah, and there's also something, I'm seeing the image of the 6 of Swords in the Rider-Waite, where there's like a dude in a boat with a woman and a child. And so again, I feel that it's something about when you really start to take care of all of these aspects within yourself, you know, like your inner child and your inner feminine, you know, your inner kind of like dreamy, imaginatory self. When you start to really take these parts of yourself more seriously and you start to protect them and listen to them and take care of them, that's when I feel like you're gonna start to manifest relationships where people are also going to give that to you. You know what I mean? It's like they're going to start to mirror your inner self-love practices back to you. Because it's like you've reached this state of wholeness. Like these two are connected now. It's like reaching this state of your full lunar power. Like you're able to see a lot more of yourself. And so other people as well will see those parts of you and really start to value them then. That's what I'm feeling. Yeah. Oh my goodness. The card that came out was the Two of Pentacles. So look at this. It's like with the lovers particularly, it's like these two people that, you know, they can see each other fully. They see each other fully. And they learned how to see. I feel like they learned that vision, you know, to see in the subconscious, to see people fully. They learned that by looking at themselves. That's what I'm feeling. So yeah, this is such a beautiful reading for you, Leo. You have so much potential there in your sign, just wanting to stream through. It's like I'm feeling this sun here just wanting to shine through, just wanting to give you the things that will make your life feel magical. That's really what I'm feeling. So do take advantage of this, Leo. Take yourself seriously, nurture your inner child. You know, listen to your dreams. Don't just cast them away and cut them off, telling yourself that is not possible. Are those words really yours? Like, it's not possible, it's never gonna happen. If you could choose from the beginning, like from the beginning of time, if you came into this world like completely pure as yourself, as your soul, would you take those words into your mouth? I think for a lot of you, you wouldn't. You would be like, let's try. Let's just see what happens. Let's go with the flow. Let me follow my joy. Yeah, I do love your reading. It's like everything is falling into place for you, Leo. So just trust yourself. So I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and bye for now.